The Longsword in Chivalry 2 is my favorite weapon in any video game I've ever played, and today we have a marathon of my best games using it. Check the timestamps in the description. There's a chapter for each of the 4 games. In case you want to skip around, there's one you're not really feeling. This first game is a Deathless where we played alongside another Longsword, Chad Azrael, and he kept us alive on Lionspire. What's going on, guys? It's Shawnee Salami, and today I have a Deathless run on Lionspire. Lionspire is the map I've gone on Deathless the most. I don't know why, because I feel like it's pretty difficult to do with the catapult and the ballistas in the stage 1 and 2. But nonetheless, we've gone Deathless on Lionspire yet again. And a big reason for that is we're playing with 2 of my 300-pound Discord mod virgins, Grundle Stomper and Azrael, and Bald Female joined the other team later, so those are some of my mods in the Discord. Like I said, they're virgins now. And if you want to join the Unyielding Discord, definitely check the pinned comment. We mute anybody who disagrees with us. It's a big time thing we like to do with the small amount of power that it gives us. But a big thanks in particular to Azrael, because he saw I was Deathless about halfway through the game and stuck to me like glue to defend me. That dude is a goated player that I definitely need to give a player spotlight to. Unbelievable player I've been running into for years now. He runs similar weapons to me like the Longsword and the Messer, and it's been very cool to become friends with him through trying to recruit him through game chat, messaging people to try and get him in here. And eventually he did, and he's been a big part of our community and the Discord. So great work by him in this one to keep me alive. Most of the credit goes to him. We'll definitely be pointing that out along the way as we have our tips, tricks, funny moments, you know, the whole thing. Let's get into it. Something I would like to ask if you've been watching the channel for a while is how the colors and the picture looks in this particular video. I've been trying to mess around with color correction for editing and things like that in CapCut, and I think this is the best looking one I've had so far. I just want people's feedback on what they think, so just let me know. Now, Lionspire in particular is pretty annoying with Deathless runs because you can die right in the beginning with the catapult, and there goes that. So we're sticking with the team the best we can. If a catapult hits us here, it's just an idiot. So right now I feel pretty safe right here. But in terms of pushing the battering ram, because teammates are very selfish and want to get kills with their catapult, post their pretty screenshot for everyone to see, as if they didn't hit everyone from miles away and not get their nose dirty like that melee players like us. We do want to be careful of that being on the objective too much, because they're just selfish. They'll kill 2 teammates if it means they can kill 3 enemies. So definitely want to be careful of that. Extremely close call here, but I'm going to position smartly around the fire, kind of like back up, get a little more towards the team, and we do get lucky because a bunch of teammates come in, so they're going to back up, and it gives us a chance to fight another day. So here I want to help this guy out before I go look for a bandage, because we did get a war horn. Pretty fortunate there, but I don't have any bandages right now, and I could see myself thinking my way through this because it's really frustrating to go Deathless. Like, there is nothing really that fun about it because it's pretty boring. You're not in the action nearly as much. I'm even like looking at it like cringing because like I'm not having as much of an impact as I'd like. And I feel like I'm almost neutering myself playing so passively because I'm all the way back in like the fields a little bit before this, and I had to just take the risk and go towards this flag to push up towards the battering ram. But people seem to like the Deathless runs because they can look at how people do them. So I try and record one now and then because it's not too difficult for me because I just have a lot of hours in this game. But it's not really the most fun, and it does get a little stressful towards the end when you are trying to secure the and feel like you didn't just go through all of that for nothing.
Take the town square!
This is some good target switching and how you want to play the longsword, not getting married to one target, hanging it like a little in the back, like just behind the front lines. I'm pushing up now, but I want to just be careful not to stick to one guy too long. And it works out well because we're starting to clear it up and start to move forward. So at this point in the game, I'm not playing too selfishly and too passive. I feel like this was okay, but as we get closer to the end, I do feel like I get a little passive, and it just annoys me. Again, I'm not trying to rant too much about how I hate recording these, but definitely something you want to keep in mind is that if you've never gone Deathless before, you're going to be playing a different way. So Bald Female is in the game now, and I do want to shout him out because he's an awesome guy. He switched to the other team to help, I believe, when he joined. I could be wrong about that. But that's someone that I met through my videos. I've been trying to get him into the Discord for a long time now because he's another one like Azrael I've been running into for years. Great player and just has fun, emoting, not taking it too serious. And now that he's in the Discord, he's been a huge part of it. He's running a lot of stuff with the dual yard and the comp part of the Discord we've started, Dominion. Just an awesome person, and it's been really cool to see that someone that's good vibes in Chivalry was also really good vibes since they've joined my community and got to know them. But it's pretty funny to see that I've made friends through the YouTube as well. So I just want to shout out Bald Female as well as Azrael, who now has figured out, I think around now, that I haven't died yet, and he's going to start defending me. And he's got a longsword. He's a Chad. I love fighting alongside Azrael so much. He's one of my favorite players to play alongside. He's kind of like, you guys have heard me talk about the Stake Hammer when I've been in games with him. It's like poetry in motion. There's no team damage. We play off of each other really well. He's a really awesome guy, but also just in terms of pure gameplay, definitely a fun person that I'm playing alongside. If you're trying to go Deathless on Lionspire, it may seem like the bridge is pretty intimidating, but I honestly don't think it is. I think once you get past the town square, it's not too difficult from here on out because you're going to see me do it a few times. Archers are going to shoot me a lot, and it's just time to back up, get it to a bandage crate, and heal, and it's very obvious where they are. And people have flags set up too, so once you get past the catapult stage in the first two, and then the meat grinder that is the town square, just it is a little hard to survive in there, you're pretty much in the clear in my opinion. And granted, I think that a lot of people I can lose sight of don't have the playtime I do, but it's definitely, I feel like you're in the home stretch once you make it to the bridge.
Destroy their banners.
I'm a famous YouTuber and this guy's an archer, so I'm going to go first and take that bandage. Thank you very much.
Strike their banners for the order. Destroy the enemy banners. The Agathian banners.
So this is more what I was talking about earlier about being a little too passive, and it's just the reality for me when I want to go deathless. I don't like doing this. I would like to be trying to push up to those banners, but I keep getting shot, so I want to stick more close to the Guardian banners to heal a little bit. And it's just not what I'm really, it doesn't fit my playstyle is what I'm trying to say. I want to go in the middle and fight here like I am now, but it's risky to do. It's just not really the smart call, but the old habits die harder. Typically what I do on the last stage is add that Chivalry 2 ending song, the Duty and Honor one. It's a banger. But because people are trying to use this to learn how to go deathless, I'm not going to do that in this one. I'm going to continue to offer tips. And you guys already know the result because it's a deathless video in the title and thumbnail, and I've talked about it. So we're just going to continue with our tips here to try and show you how to position, what you want to do. There's minimal editing in this one. I hope that's okay. But definitely let me know what you think of the color grading, what the colors look like, if it's more vibrant than usual, if you like it, if you don't like it. And while we are defending the explosives, I do want to shout out my channel members. I do like to do that at the last objective, so let's do that real quick. Llama, Sauce Code, SignixX1, K-Money, Big Bro, Kronos, Nah, and CK Buhurt. I think that's supposed to be Butthurt. I'm not really sure. Hit me up if you guys want to play. I appreciate you so much. I appreciate all the viewers, but special shout out to them. Hopefully I can start putting that money towards the PC, get a PC eventually. And if you would like to support me with a channel membership, which of course, no pressure ever, that's in the description and the Discord is in the pinned comment. But let's finish up this Lionspire game to secure the Deathless and try and secure the win as well.
I'm destroying those Chetrukins! Destroy the siege weapons!
If you've made it this far into the video, comment Megan, Shawnee just wants a chance to try and confuse people who may have not made it this far into the video. And it helps me out with comments for engagement, so definitely leave that down below.
Your mead is on me.
It's no secret I have a problem with team damage. It's not the proudest thing I'll say, but here it's really excessive, and I do apologize for that, but it's because I've gotten pretty nervous about securing this Deathless. I don't want this whole game of just being so passive to be for nothing, and I've been trying to record one this weekend, so if this was all for nothing, that would have been pretty disappointing. Luckily, we're defending the explosives well here, and by the way, this is a tip I like to give every single Deathless run when it's a situation like this, is if you die in the explosion for the explosives, the game kind of rewards you for doing the objective, so that doesn't count for a death on your stat sheet. Because it does make sense, like if you're doing the objective and you're getting punished for being exactly where you should. So just something to keep in mind if you're trying to do something like this. And that will do it. So big shout out to Azrael for all the defending. Shout out to Bald Female, who probably would have killed me a few times if I were to look back a second time. So shout out them. Grundle's always fun to play with and a good Deathless. It was a little bit of a lopsided game, but I played very well. 88 takedowns, no deaths. The Longsword is commonly suggested to new players in Chivalry 2. However, I think that's terrible advice. What is going on, guys? It's Shawnee Salami, and we are dusting off the Longsword in this game on the Siege of Rudhelm. We'll be attacking, and this is a weapon that I always see recommended to new players to learn the game on Reddit. But the reality is, if this is the weapon you're using in the very beginning, you are not learning how to drag or excel your slashes or overheads. You're mostly just stabbing, because the light stab is one of the best attacks in the game, doing 55 damage. And it's so easy to land hits with. That's the bread and butter of the Longsword, but you're not going to be learning how to use swing manipulation. It's just not a good suggestion at all. That Reddit is really just brain dead. Overall, the Longsword is a fantastic weapon. I would say A tier. It's just a veteran is who's going to get the most out of this. If you're a new player, you're going to fall into a noob trap of just only stabbing, and when you go to another weapon, you're not going to be a well-rounded player if you only use the Longsword. All that being said, longtime viewers know this is my favorite weapon in the game, bar none. My Longsword is level 1000. It's been my main weapon since the game came out. Not because of how good it is, but because it makes me feel like I'm in an action movie, and it kind of personifies what this genre is about for me. I feel like I'm Jon Snow in a movie. That's how I've always explained it. And anyway, we're going to be playing with Demolem, Massive Eggplant, and Smile Kitchen. Awesome guys, they're three of my favorite people I've been playing with recently. So sit back, relax, and enjoy as we have our relaxing commentary, and we're going to be using the Longsword as we attack the Siege of Rudhelm. A perfect example of getting the most out of every attack is how we use this heavy overhead here. We're going to drag it, and that's 70 damage. It's just such a good attack. The stab is, again, better even if it's less damaging, but that is so fast for heavy overhead, and overheads on swords in general are very hard to counter. Another great thing to add to your repertoire for the Longsword is the Crouch Excel, which you'll see right here. What you do is look down while overheading all in one motion, and it's so fast. It lands so well. It's good with weapons like the Battle Axe as well, but on the Longsword, it's not going to do the most damage, only about 50, I believe, but because of how quickly you can get it out, it's a good kill shot attack as well. This guy's going to kill us again. Joe Mama got us twice. Great work by him to get another kill on us. He was a beast in this lobby.
Overrun the enemy's wall. Take the walls from the Mason.
This Vanguard going after the Archer is doing God's work. I'm going to let him do that. And he's clearly someone's alt. This dude was an animal. He was their team's top player. Let's see if I can beat him in this one-on-one fight here that the other player respected. Credit to him.
You are a true warrior. Nearly had me there.
Great fight there. That's one of the better duels you're going to see in Team Objective when nobody jumps in for a very long time like that. Great back and forth against a player who completely dominated this lobby. Like I said, he was the other team's top player. He has to be someone's alt, so shout out him. It's probably another African rebel alt, you know, very sorry. He's got a million of these things running around in TO.
Overrun the enemy's wall.
After a good early push on the gatehouse, we're now having a lot of trouble getting in, and they do a good job pushing us back and defending it really well.
We must take their wall.
This may seem like an autopilot moment, but I was really just trying to help the objective. I didn't really know where everyone was, so we're just sticking with that one guy and going to try and push forward. But I didn't have the right thought process here. I should have fell back to the other side and wait for my team to come in through that way and then push up with them. But unfortunately, we think we can fight 50 people with a longsword.
Double your efforts. We must take that wall.
So a good push with the boys to get the gatehouse captured. It's something that you're going to notice in this video throughout the entire thing is every objective was razor thin. It really came down to it. So if you like seeing me play the objective, which I definitely have lost my way with, don't really do it anymore like I used to and care about it as much, you're going to like this one because it is something I was trying to focus on doing so we can keep doing Rudhelm. Team damage has definitely been better, but I didn't even realize I downed that guy until I'm watching this back. So nice triple kill, but you kind of counteract that when you down your own teammate. Not a great job there. So Rudhelm moves along as the tents burn and we're on to the push to the ramp stage. One thing I would like to note is this is not my best game positionally. I've already pointed out a few times the mistakes that I've made. Sometimes when I'm in voice chat with my friends, guys, it's just a disaster. I just rush in, I'm not really thinking. Most of those do not make YouTube. Usually I have to log in, mute my mic, or just be playing by myself for that to happen. This was hilarious in voice chat for me because we're fighting one guy and I kept sneezing. All of a sudden I open my eyes after sneezing, there's 4 people attacking us. And I do want to leave in this respawn point because look how long Massive Eggplant is doing this. This dude's a beast at 1vxing. So you see that friend icon over there? It's just I'm trying to run over and get over to him. And Demolem's over there too now. It's pretty funny to see how long he can survive like that. So Massive Eggplant is a guy who's always been a good player. I've said this in a recent video, but he was more known as just a chill dude everyone was really friends with in the late night lobbies, and he was like good vibes. Recently, though, that's changed. He's still that, but he's gotten more involved in the community, and somehow that's made him, I don't know, more competitive. He's a monster now. This dude's a beast. He's just an animal. So you'll see him regularly topping the game by a significant amount with the Highland Sword. It's really cool to see your friends get better like that. So I always love shouting people out when they've improved so immensely, and he definitely has. And now it's time to capture the courtyard, and I think this is one of the most underrated objectives in Chivalry 2. I don't see it really mentioned a ton, so I absolutely love this part of the map. This whole map, I think every single objective is great, honestly, but this is one of the better ones, so definitely got to lock in here, because if we're getting outkilled, or at least close to it, by the defense, this is the one you're going to have the most trouble with winning, on attack in that instance.
Clear the courtyard of Mason! Storm the courtyard! Take the courtyard!
So as we suspected, this is going to be tough getting in here, because like we're not even having any numbers on the courtyard. It's trouble even getting through the entrance, so this is not going to be easy. Now, before we continue, I would like to ask, if you're liking the video to this point, please give it a like. It helps smaller YouTubers out like me a ton. And for future Chivalry 2 content, definitely consider subscribing. We got more slasher content on the way for things like Fiefdom and Ad Mortem as well. And lastly, if you'd like to be a channel membership, support the Shawnee PC Fund. The channel memberships are in the description, and if you'd like to get games in, the Discord is in the pinned comment. Let's see if we can get this courtyard captured and kill the VIP. Time to kill the heir. So the dude tried to show off and he got killed, then we ended up getting the win. Today in Chivalry 2, I was a one-man army, until I wasn't. What is going on, guys? It's Sean Salami, and today we have the highest kill longsword game we've ever had on the channel. However, the game did end in heartbreak, that's all I'll say. Stick around to see what happened. But let's get into our narrative gameplay and relaxing commentary while we have our highest kill longsword game ever on the channel while we defend Darkforest. Let's get into it. This game we're playing with some friends from a little bit ago, and we're also playing against Ashmaker, who, this is before I had him on my friends list, so Ashmaker, if you're watching, shout out you. But if you would like to get some games in, join the Unyielding Discord. It's in the pinned comment. It's the largest Chivalry 2 community, and we always got groups going right now. I'm not sure how much longer Chivalry 2 has left, but the Unyielding aims to be here much longer than Chivalry 2. So just join up for a fun community. We got other melee slashers on the way. I'm excited to see where this channel and the Discord goes. If you have any requests for games you'd like to see me cover, definitely let me know in the comments. I'm always trying to bring the best possible content to you guys. They're having all kinds of trouble trying to break through the barricades, which is usually an objective done in 2 seconds, which definitely helped us for our kills because the game going longer is always a good thing, especially when it's Darkforest. You love to see Darkforest go a long time. But we're off to a very hot start, as you can see. Nothing wrong with trash talking competition, but there's also nothing wrong with if you're going to put a target on your back by laughing at me pointing it out. So he's going to laugh and then be put down like a dog after barely putting up a fight. It's all in good fun though. I know in particular on the Doomhand video that blew up when me and him went at each other for a whole game, there were comments where people think that I'm up at night cursing people's existence that teabag me. I promise you I'm not, but if you're going to do it to me in a video and I kill you, I'm going to point it out. We are behind enemy lines here. I don't know how I haven't been killed yet. It's just they don't see me exactly. The spawn wave kind of was a little bit ahead of me. We're going to make the mistake of attacking someone here and get swarmed. What I should have done is just kept running, and then I probably would have survived. Check out the footwork here. I mean, it's on point. We actually survived for quite a while because of it. Check this out. A lot of times if you're going back and forth riposting, countering, if you don't do it once, even just have a second, like right here, he's so used to that his timing is completely thrown off and it opens him up for an attack. It'll even work against experienced players sometimes in these public lobbies when people are on autopilot, just expecting an automatic counter all the time. We throw ourselves into yet another 1vx behind enemy lines, but you'll never guess what happens next. The aggression I'm showing with the longsword is not really that good. You do not want to be this far up. You want to be supporting your team almost like a spear. However, I'm just so locked in and in the zone that it seems to be working anyway and getting a lot of kills, leading to a lot of deaths. But again, this is not the optimal way to be playing the longsword. Pretty funny here as we die just about the same exact way, 2 lives in a row. A really long hold on the gatehouse. Again, to have a high kill game like this, you also need the game to go on a very long time, and the game, it did. Darkforest is really good for long games. If you didn't know, Darkforest and Fallmire are the 2 maps that go much longer than the other ones. So now it's time to stop the convoy, and we are once again getting way too aggressive and way too deep, but you'll never guess what happens next. And how could I forget our very good dear friend K Money joined the game? He is here now. Every time I play with K Money, his fat ass is eating wings through the mic, but we love him anyway. He's a great guy. He's also a channel member, so if you'd like to support me with a channel membership for the Shawnee PC Fund, that is in the description. Our channel members are Grundle Stomper, Llama, Big Bro, Smile Kitchen, CK Buherd, Nah, Kronos, Logic Bomb, Massive Eggplant, and Thompson Clan. And of course, the aforementioned fat ass K Money. Thank you to my channel members. I appreciate all you guys, but especially them. Back to the video. So despite how great the game ended up in the end, we're going to go on a nightmare sequence where we die a ton and the aggression catches up to us. I'm going to let this speak for itself, but this is one of the most brutal stretches we've had in the channel's history. I'm going to heal right here, and now I'm starting to realize, you know what? That's enough times dying and not helping anybody, the team, myself, nobody. We're going to slow things down. We're going to back up, we're going to heal, we're going to refocus our positioning and try and get that under control, because that was ridiculous. So as expected, the barricades phase ends very quickly, and now it's time to defend the gate. And we have nearly 60 kills already. It's been a monster game. And like I said, this one is going to end in heartbreak. That's all I'll say. Stay tuned, but it's not going to be pretty. Here I brutally miss a stab that was just a layup, and it's going to cost me here as the guy with the quarterstaff takes us down. Great kill by him. For whatever reason, my 1vxing was on point, but not my 1 versus 1s in this one. So at the very last second, we are passed for first place on the leaderboard, and if you're first on the leaderboard, if you didn't know, you have the option to pass the VIP to the next person, so that's what that person did. So now we are going to be trying to stay alive as the heir. I'm indifferent on playing VIP or not playing VIP, but I think it made for more exciting content to be able to play it in this one, so let me know what you guys think if I should accept this more often. I know people like the Thaic one, for example, always accepting that one. As we wait for enemies to arrive, I would like to ask, if you've enjoyed the video at this point, please consider giving it a like, join the Discord if you want to get games in, and subscribing for future content. Now this game is going to end in heartbreak is all I'll say. Let's start the final stage. So a very winnable game. We lose because I got way too aggressive. My heart was in the right place. I thought it was working. It seemed to be working, but in the end, the aggression did cost us, like it did in the second half of the game, quite honestly, too, as we started to slow down. In today's Chivalry 2 video, I played like an absolute moron, but somehow it seemed to work. What is going on, guys? It's Sean and Salami, and today on this Desecration of Galencourt game, we had pretty bad positioning. However, mechanically, my gameplay was on point and I was destroying people despite dying so much. But sometimes turning your brain off, voice chatting with the fellas, and just stomping a lobby together is what it's all about, right? So this is going to be a longsword game with tons of 1vx's and just outnumbered fights that you're going to see pretty much throughout the entire game. Let's get into it. We'll have our relaxing commentary and narration as we go. To start off, we're going to be playing with longtime supporter Billy Witch Doctor. We'll also be playing with Megan and fellow content creator Smile Kitchen. I will have his Twitch in the pinned comment. He's a very, very good streamer. It was pretty funny. I said in the beginning of this match, guys, I'm calling it right here. I'm going to go deathless because I've noticed I've never recorded a Galencourt deathless game. And then I died pretty much instantly after that. It's times like that I wish the voice chat was recorded for the games. You'll end up seeing that this match went an extremely long time for a Galencourt, but on this first stage, the Masons did a good job of all attacking as a team on this right fortification, and we captured it pretty quickly. It's pretty interesting to see because usually people trickle in on either side, and nothing gets done until the timer nearly runs out. But now it's time to disable the ships. We're time traveling a little bit here because I noticed my friend Rangers Knight has joined the game, so I shot him a message on Instagram. I met him through hockey Twitter. It's basically a part of Twitter where we only tweet about hockey and the New York Rangers. And for everything that the Chivalry 2 community is great at, Rangers Twitter was the worst at. If you ever want to simultaneously feel great about yourself, but also worry about the state of the human race, go on Rangers Twitter. It's a god-awful cesspool. So while the whole subject of the video is really bad positioning, this time I did position smartly. I don't want to be out in the open and give an archer a free kill. That's where that comes from. So motivated by pure spite to not give him a kill, we stay under cover and wait until there's a safe time to move. So all in all, we are dying a lot, but we're getting a lot of kills. But this next stretch, this is pretty rough. We're going to die a lot and not make much of an impact on the game at all. This is more of what you're going to be seeing for the rest of the match, is these kinds of outnumbered fights where I'm just in way too deep. The last video I uploaded was kind of similar to this when it was on Darkforest. It was a better game than this one, if you go by the stats. And this one was on attack, so you'd think I'd get away with this more, but again, it's too much aggression, just too much brain rot going on, not paying enough attention to where I should be and where everyone else is. This was pretty funny. Check this out. God damn. So now that we've blown up the ships and it's time to place the explosives, this is one of the more interesting objectives because it's just back-to-back meat grinders when you have to place them and destroy the gates. And this is where the longsword, using this, is going to cost me even more because I'm not playing it correctly. I'm not stabbing in between teammates. I'm just going to keep rushing in like a madman, like I have a war axe or something. And it's going to cost me, as you're going to see. This is a pretty dumb time to front line like this, and we still have a whole minute and a half to get the explosives, so that's not even really the reason I'm pushing up like this. But it's not smart to do this, but the speed of the longsword keeps us alive, even though if we had something like a messer, we would probably kill even more of these people. It certainly makes it easier when they're not even looking at you most of the time. So last life we were getting a bunch of kills and we were getting away with fighting the longsword incorrectly because of how fast it is, but this is, again, you're just going to get killed if you rush in behind the team and front line with it. It's not how you want to be playing this weapon. I had a lot of fun in this match, but again, not ideal at all, and this is not a good video for the tips and tricks, especially on positioning, but I do think it makes for an entertaining watch. So this brutal brain rot going on, just too much aggression, but hey, it seems to be working. Like, again, I'm cringing at some of this gameplay because I don't think this is technically the smart thing to be doing, but we already have 100 bombs, so doing something right? So now it's time to assault the church, and I would like to ask, as we head through these last two stages, that if you've liked the video to this point, to please consider giving it a like for the algorithm. Helps smaller YouTubers out like me a ton, and if you'd like to support me with a channel membership for the Shawnee PC Fund, that's going to be in the description. And if you'd like to join the Discord, get some games in with me or like-minded people, that will also be in the description because Smile Kitchen's Twitch is in the pinned comment. Check him out for a good streamer. But let's see if we can assault the church and desecrate the tomb. So we do end up losing, and we also died a lot, but despite that, I did think this was a very fun game. 140 takedowns using the Longsword is great, and if you want to check out an even better Longsword game, one is on the screen now. Love you guys. See you in the next one.